Rachel dumped me today. Said I was too broke, couldn't provide her a future.
You have the perfect amount of money.
You're a baller, more than perfect.
Don't let anyone tell you that you're broke.
I am, though. That's why she left me.
She left because she can't handle your level of wealth.
Filthy rich, made of money.
Now that she's gone, the landlord wants to redo the lease, so I'm probably not going to have anywhere to stay.
I don't know about any of that stuff, but when I look at you, I see a man of means. And you need to see the same thing when you look in the mirror.
And if Rachel and your landlord can't see that, that's because they're projecting their insecurities onto you.
Insecure.
I don't even want to look at my bank account right now.
You don't have to look at your bank account. But if you do, whatever it says, just know it's the perfect amount.
If your landlord wants to know what your number is, that's no one's business but your own.
Well, I just looked. I'm in overdraft.
Nice, dude.
Crushing it, bro.
Young lady, you did not protect his heart because you cheated on him. You did not protect his life because you cheated on him with no protection. And then you went back and slept with him with no protection. And then you didn't protect him because the man that you cheated with knew exactly who your man was, how to get in contact him. And if he walked up to him and said something to him, he could have done something worse and done something that caused him harm. So now you didn't protect him in all those ways. And had he done that to you, I'd be telling you the same thing. So stop trying to defend what you did. You did wrong. I love you. Be well. Baby, it's not hard for that person to be good to you. If they wanted to, they would. I bet when they want something from you, it ain't hard for them to ask for it, is it? They're sweet. They're kind. They treat you like they even respect you a little bit. All so they can get what they need from you to feel the way they want to feel. Wanted, needed, respected, desired, loved. So if there's an excuse why they're not being the same way towards you, they just don't want to. And I know it doesn't feel good to hear it. It's even worse when you have to accept it because you love that person. You actually thought you were going to get that kind of love back. Well, now that you know that you're not, love yourself enough to do exactly what you need to do. Okay? Because you didn't need validation from me or anybody else. You knew the deal before you even asked the question. But I understand sometimes we just got to hear it. Because I don't know, maybe it sounds real coming out somebody else's mouth. You deserve the love that you're giving, baby. And if you're not getting it, stop giving it. Just think about it. I love you. Be well.
Obsidian said last week when I asked him about the gender war, he said women have been talking our lives and our father's lives and our grandfather's lives. It wasn't considered a gender war until men started talking.
Exactly.
And to know how feminized the culture and society is and how everybody's been brainwashed by this.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies don't view men talking inherently as the problem. They view men talking in a way that doesn't agree with women.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't talk only favorably and only highlight women's positive behaviors.
Exactly.
They're fine with that. That's why the panderers are taking all their money.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the black men and the men, that's why all the men that's on these microphones that are just telling women, girl, he don't deserve you. And if he won't do it, another man will. And you're reinforcing an ideology that there's nothing for her to change. The problem is the man. This is why so many of them think whenever a relationship ends, he's the narcissist.
Yes.
It's because they've been conditioned to, this is why so many of them don't apologize. Guys, if y'all see what we're talking about, it's rampant. The lack of accountability, the lack of apologies, everybody in my past is a narcissist. I felt threatened just because he disagreed with you. Men, they'll in the same sentence tell you about what a real man is and what men should do and what men's responsibilities are. And then also tell you stay out of women's business and don't talk about women.
Mm-hmm.
In their mind, it's not a double standard. The standard is we have one standard for women and we have a totally different standard for men. And it is a cohesive, it falls within the feminist gynocentric model. When you guys understand that it's not just about, a lot of them are willfully just doing this. They have been trained since young girls to think and see the world through this lens. And how do we know that the culture has been feminized? Because when you go to other countries that are not westernized and have not been overly feminized, it is the exact opposite.
Yes.
It's the exact opposite. And it's like they'll simultaneously tell you why they'll reject a man. He's not tall enough. Like you said, he doesn't make 6 figures or more. He doesn't have a beard. He's not funny. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have that. And they'll have all these reasons for why they can disqualify you.
Mhm.
But if they find out that you're dating outside of your race, culture, or outside of the country, they have an issue with that. And now they have to pathologize and say that you're evil and trying to take advantage of these women. It's because literally in their mind, there's a standard for women and there's a standard for men. And feminism and this whole gynocentric model was never about equality.
No.
It was always about female power and influence and the ability to shape culture to be at the benefit of and the advantage of women.
When people were talking about like protect black women and things like that, it's like you haven't earned those men. Because protection means that I'm using myself as a human shield. What you talked about, you earned those men.
Oh, I know I did, baby, because I'm around.
When it was a case where there was quid pro quo, you scratch my back in these ways, I scratch your back in those ways. The ways that men scratch the proverbial back is protection and provision. What are the ways women scratch the back? It's peace. It's nutrition, right? And it's child rearing. How are those things going in our community?
My goodness. Chaos. They deep frying every damn thing they can find, and these kids don't know how to read, write, or do arithmetic.
They know how to dress, though.
Oh, well, and on that note.
Oh, my bad.
That is something to think about.
Of course having a boyfriend is embarrassing. Are you kidding me? Now more than ever, we have more female CEOs, we have more female homeowners. Women are absolutely dominating in every single form in society, whereas men continue to decline. The men are getting uglier, the women are getting more beautiful, the men are getting dumber, the women are getting smarter. Women are pursuing the arts, their dreams, their goals. Men have none. It seems like the vast majority of all men are bums and losers, and the ones that do make money are narcissistic and evilish. There is absolutely no benefit in being with a man. Stick with me.
Can somebody please explain to me how we're supposed to date in our 20s? Like, in high school, that was easy as hell. Like, I was vanilla, everybody else was vanilla. There really wasn't much substance to us. It was just like, hey, that person's cute, I like him, and then a week later, he's my boyfriend, and we're only dating each other. Like, but in our 20s, we're having to deal with all of our childhood trauma that has now resurfaced, on top of having to figure out...
You spilled all over.
Arlo, I need to tell you something.
I'm listening.
I made a mistake. I cheated on you.
Are you not going to say anything?
What I say won't change what's been done. Would it?
I wasn't thinking. I felt lost. It was a mistake.
Maya. It was a choice.
Do you hate me?
No, I don't hate you. Hate takes too much energy.
Do you forgive me?
Yes, I forgive you.
You do? So does that mean we can fix things?
Forgiving you doesn't mean forgetting what happened. It means I refuse to carry the weight of your choices. It means I choose peace over resentment. It means I can move on without you.
But I love you. Please.
Then you should have valued me. I hope you find what you're looking for, Maya. Truly.
You're not a real man because you're taking care of a poor woman. You're just a dummy. I don't care if she's drowning in student debt. Tell her file for bankruptcy, medical bills, anything she got going on, that's none of my business. That's a personal problem. Men that take care of poor women, you're idiotic. You're dumb. Your mother raised a dummy. I'm gonna be honest with you. No, she didn't raise a man, she raised a dummy. Because your mother really loved you, your father really loved you, they would tell you, go out here and find a woman that's sustaining herself, can help you get further in life. But instead, no. You want to work backwards. You think you're a big macho man. Boy, you are a dummy. I hope all the broke women in the world can drain you men of all your resources. Hope they leave you all dry. That's where you're going to be regardless anyway. So guys, I'm telling you right now, take that cape off, man. All that savior mentality. I'm a vigilante, bro. I'm ruthless in these streets. She got to pay for me to be in her life. Some form of fashion. She wants my last name. I need the highest bidder. Trust fund baddies only.
Have you guys seen the video of the woman that came on this app saying that her friend ended their friendship over a man? Sounds terrible, right? And everyone was just bashing this woman. Well, come to find out, that man was her husband. And the reason why she ended their friendship was because her friend kept on telling her that her husband was not doing enough. And the straw that broke the camel's back was the friend's response to the wife being taken out by her husband for their anniversary for a simple dinner and flowers. And the friend was not happy about that. She said that that was very much bare minimum. Come to find out, that friend is single. She doesn't even have a man. And apparently, all of her standards of what should be bare minimum, no man has ever met for that friend. The wife pleaded her case saying that that's what she wanted. She wanted just dinner and flowers because she's been married for multiple years. She has kids. She works a full-time job and she's tired. She doesn't want to go out and do extravagant things. She wanted what she wanted, but her friend was constantly there in her ear, clocking everything that her husband was doing for her. I gotta say, I take the wife's side. I think that she made the right call. In order to maintain a healthy marriage, she needed to get rid of that friendship. Because clearly, that friend was a woman that wanted her friends to be single because she was single. She wanted everyone around her to also be single.
Young men, we need to talk. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry that girls haven't been kind. And maybe you've attempted at being bold and, asking a cute girl on a date. For whatever reason, she shot you down. Listen, don't stop being a man. Don't stop being bold. Now, okay, understand, there's sometimes where you can be a little weird. I get it. It happens to all of us. We get a little overwhelmed, we get a little nervous. Hear me out. I respect you. This is the one thing I caution you against. Don't just go in with she's just beautiful and just tell her that. Why don't you observe for a little while? Start thinking about her character. What draws you in? I personally would be flattered. Choice word. Flattered if a man approached me and had actually mentioned, Sydney, I am really drawn to you because I see the light of the Lord in you. I just think you work really hard with excellence and you're super creative and I just would love to take you on a date. That's so much better than, you are just show-stopping, girlfriend. My advice to you today is to not be discouraged and to not be afraid. To be bold and courageous and to approach women with confidence and honesty and integrity and be a gentleman, you know what I mean? Let me know in the comments how it goes for you. I'll keep praying. Listen, the Lord's got somebody out there for you. You just haven't found her yet. It's gonna be okay though, I promise. You're still really young. There's no rush, okay?
Honestly, and I really do appreciate what you're trying to do, but this is not, I don't see this helping, to be honest. I think this is corny. I really do. You really have the light of the Lord. Friend zoned. I noticed the light of the Lord in you. Friend zone. You have so many women saying, don't do that. Don't do that. Just tell me what your intention is from the beginning. You're over here because you like me. You're over here because you think that I'm pretty. Just tell me that. And you don't have to be creepy about it. You say, hey, man, okay, well, let's say this. Let's do this. Maybe you're in a group together. And maybe you guys kind of hang back. Maybe you try to position yourself to, maybe you see her go get coffee. And you walk over there. And maybe you guys are having a small group. You say, hey, how you doing? My name is John. Oh, hey, John, how are you? My name is Sydney. Oh, nice to meet you, Sydney. So do you come here often and strike up a conversation? No. Well, and this is my first time. I'm really from Minnesota, but, I just moved to DC. So I'm really trying to get acclimated. find me a good church, or wherever you are, find me a good church or find me a good book club. Oh yeah, man, I hear that from your Vikings fan. Oh, I don't really watch football. Yeah, well, I am a Vikings fan. Oh man, I don't know if I can talk to Vikings fan. It's just there's a little stuff like that. You kind of see if it goes anywhere from that. But walking up to a woman, observing her, because if we're understanding it, if you guys are saying what you say is true, then you're going to look at that man that you don't like as a creeper and a lurker. And if he comes up and says, you know what, I really, I just want to introduce myself. You really have the light of the Lord. Friend zone. And then when you walk away, creep. I mean, I know we're supposed to, love our brothers and sisters, but wow, that was creepy. That was weird. That's a new one. You're going to tell your friends, you're going to tell the group chat, you're going to tell your mom and dad, and every time you see that man, now he's a creep because he said that to you. You think a man wants to go through that? What you're really talking about is the man that you want to approach you. You want him to notice more than your beauty. And really, honestly, and this is what we've talked about, Dana was talking about, and India kind of followed up with, it's India Michelle, I think, and Dana Dane, DD 1987, I think, on TikTok, right? 2 accounts, ladies talking about the 5 lies that women tell, and then India came up with the 3 lies that women tell themselves. This is one of them. If a good looking man come up to you and say this stuff, you're not going to have a problem with it. Oh, he said I had the light of the Lord. And you're going to be okay with that. If he come up and say, hey, man, I think you're stunning. Right? I saw you I wasn't going to say anything because I didn't know if it was like, lustful or Christian, but all jokes aside, I would love to take you out sometime. And, I want to introduce myself. And if you don't like it, that's totally fine. I don't want to make it awkward for you because I know we go to the same church, but I just wanted to come introduce myself and kind of say hello. Well, I thank you, Tim, and I appreciate it. And kind of look over to your friend, and we really appreciate that we just started coming here. And sure, I don't know if I'd give out my number, but maybe we'll give you your Instagram and see how it goes, right? Yeah, Instagram's cool. And y'all go from there, and it won't be weird. But like I said, if that other man comes up to you and you don't like him, then all of a sudden, mayday, we got a problem.
Why would I deal with a broke woman and bring her to this lifestyle? For what? I can't deal with a brokey, man. It's trust fund baddies only, poor no more. Y'all keep dealing with these women that are putting no money in your pocket. I can't do that. So I need you to clock it, man. I need my money. Next time you're talking to a baddie, you've been talking to her long enough, you got to talk to her like this. I need my money. You're not showing up. You're not putting numbers on the board. You're not doing nothing. We got to see the bottom line go up, gentlemen. 2026, we got to get that pan strong. I'm telling you, bruh, there's no reason having a roster. They're not moving accordingly. They're not bringing you no resources. All they're doing is taking away. You could be living your best life. You see this? Where's a brokey going to be? She's nowhere near. She's nowhere near. Do you see a brokey? I don't see a brokey. It's trust fund baddies only, bro. I'm going to die on this hill. If you're not going to die on this hill, you're going to suffer. I'm telling y'all now. I'm trying to give y'all the word from above. Trust fund baddies only. A brokey can't bring you to this environment. But a trust fund baddie, it's how you're going to retire. TFBO, man.
This is my message to all men. Only honorable men feel shame. The shame is the sign that you're honorable. It's the indicator that you're honorable. Dishonorable people, men and women, feel no shame. No matter what harm they've done to anyone, they feel no shame. Shame is a sign of honor, an indicator of honor, a function of honor.
If a dad said, you can't see your kids until you do what I say, he'd be called abusive. If he kept his kids from their mom out of spite, he'd be labeled toxic, controlling, unfit. But when a mom does it, they call it protecting the kids. They call it a mother's instinct. If a dad breaks down crying in court, they say he's unstable. If a mom does it, oh, that's a mother's heartbreak. If a dad lies in a report, he's a criminal. If a mom lies, she's emotional. You see the pattern? The system doesn't want equal parents. It wants a villain and it wants a victim. And too often, the father's already chosen as that villain before that story even starts. We're not asking for sympathy. We're asking for the same grace, the same belief, the same damn benefit of the doubt. Because being a father doesn't make you dangerous. It makes you responsible. Follow me, because we're building something great, and I want you to be a part of that. Tell me your story in the comments. Read every single comment. You don't have to do this alone. I got you.
Like, I don't know that anyone in the history of relationships has ever been so in love with their spouse that no other person, even for a moment, was visually appealing to them. Like, if that was the case, that seems insane to me.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's really crazy. So I just think, like, you're setting yourself up for tremendous failure if you think that finding other people attractive is, or even stimulating, is like the thought crime of that is a betrayal of your relationship. Again, you might make the case that viewing is a betrayal of your relationship, or flirting with another person is a betrayal of your relationship. You could also make a counter argument that neither of those things is a betrayal of your relationship, because the depth of your relationship is that you're committed to this person, that they're the only person you're going to be having a relationship with. They're the person you're building a life and a family with. Like, that is the depth of connection that matters to me. I think that it's the depth of connection that should matter to most people, because that's the fundamental tenets of a relationship. But
and isn't that more romantic in a way? It's like, I do have feelings, but I'm choosing to stay with you.
100%.
Once I found out I was bringing out the worst in men, that became the beginning of trying to understand men. And then 6 months into it, someone who I owe my life to called me on emasculating men. She said, Allison, men are attracted to you like bees to honey, and when you're done with them, it's as if they've been with a vampire. And proceeded to tell me all the ways she'd seen me emasculate a man, or knew I had because she saw him afterwards. And as she pointed them out, I was like, oh yeah, that was a good one. Oh yeah, that put him right in his place. Took the wind out of his sails. I was proud. It was my job. Men are dangerous. We have to disempower you to be safe.
You're shooting yourself in the foot in that process, because now you have to deal with the outcome.
I didn't know that. Women don't know that we bring out the worst in men by the ways we emasculate.
What's the most common job of a woman that divorces her husband?
In my experience, the most common job of a woman who divorces her husband is either a nurse. The infidelity rates are the highest among nurses. Teachers. There's a lot when it comes to teachers, because teachers are it's a predominantly female profession, so it's women who spend a lot of time with other women, and they spend a lot of that time talking about how much their husbands suck or men suck. But I think statistically the highest would be homemakers. Like homemakers, you know. I hesitate to use the term stay-at-home mothers, because once a kid is like in the school years, like you're not like sitting at home like darning the socks and, you know, making elaborate meals, and, you know, like it's usually, you know, like you're just not working.
Most women nowadays like to talk about the fact that there are no good men left, but here's the truth, ladies. If you actually treated men with respect, if you actually listened to them, you obeyed them, you admired them, you acknowledged them, you made your man feel special, or you made men in general feel respected and special, they would treat you like queens. They would treat you exactly how you want and expect, and probably even better than that, and give you even more than you could have imagined. Because men reciprocate the effort that they're given. Men reciprocate how they're treated. If you're treating your man horribly, he's not going to treat you very well in return. And that is your fault. That's not his fault. So if you want a man to treat you better, start treating them better.
Now, many men put women on a pedestal in the initial stages of the courtship process, but in today's day and age, even more women put themselves there. They expect a sacrifice of a certain amount of value. Otherwise, they do not move from their spot. No coffee dates, no drinks at all. Dinner reservations a must. And send a car for me. And don't expect anything in return, Buster. The Lord works in mysterious ways, after all. If you play your cards right, give me gifts and attention and acts of service, and it is my pleasure to do so, then maybe I might consider requiting your desire, blessing you with a relationship, but don't count on it. Of course, a relationship with such a woman is really just an opportunity for a man to prolong the sacrifice of value, which is rarely a good deal for the man involved. This is like paying for the opportunity to work your job. Hardly an enticing offer. And this is why idols, listen up ladies, this is why idols typically end up smashed and disregarded. They're too expensive in that they do not consistently and sufficiently bless their worshipers with their heart's desire, and so the faithful tend to abandon them in favor of more, let's say, reliable strategies.
That's a fact. These women are making this sort of thing their hobby, where they try to essentially get men, rosters of men to pay for their stuff, pay for their lifestyle, try to really honestly and truly sponsor them. And they think that they can play this game until infinity. Honestly, we're just going to keep on doing this over and over again. And if one man goes out, I'll just go get another one. If one man goes and gets married or goes and gets a girlfriend or decides to have some sort of self-respect, then I'll just go get another one, right? You can do this in your early 20s, in your early 30s. If you're really, really good looking, then you can probably extend it. But after a while, this is going to run dry. And this is where a lot of these female dating coaches really have their clients crash and burn, because they're teaching them, yeah, you can, it's men out here everywhere that can continue to do this for you. No, they're only doing it for her. She's really the only one that's getting it. There's not a plethora of men that are going to be doing that for you. Oh, I've got a man that's doing this. She's talking about herself. What she's doing is not repeatable. You can't do that. You don't look good enough. And there's some women that do look good enough, but the men in her area ain't going for that. He's like, what do you think this is? Girl, go sit down. Sit down. Number one. Number two, you might be in an area where there's a lot of good looking women. So you can't do that, because that man will be like, oh, I see what you're doing. This not the market for that. This ain't the market for that. You're going to have to chill on all that. You have to relax on all that. And modern women think that, because they're unique and they're beautiful, they can outrun, they can outlast the inevitable truth. And that is, you're not going to be hot for too long. Your time is almost up. What we might refer to as the wall. They don't believe the wall is ever going to catch them. And when it does, they're heartbroken and disappointed. We've already seen videos of women talking about, I didn't know. I didn't have a clue. But here I am at 39, 40 years old. And it's not the same. Men don't look at me the same way. I don't receive the same potential that I did when I was 20, 21, 22. Yeah, we know. We told you that. We told you to be aware of that. But you act like you didn't hear us. And so now here you are, and your career is over at 30. You had a good run for 10 years. But now, like Kevin Samuel said, when you're done, Walmart will be hiring. Walmart will be hiring. Starbucks will be hiring.
No man is going to believe you. I've just been celibate. I've just been single. I've just been out here finding myself. No, they know what's going on. They are not fools. And I've had more than one man tell me, when a woman marries young, even if it doesn't work out, like in my case, the fact that you prioritize marriage as opposed to putting it lower on your list says a lot about you. And men are more trusting of that than just, well, I think her words were, I've just been doing me. Whatever that means. Again, you're free to do whatever you want, but everything comes at a cost, ladies. All right. Yeah, absolutely. After your 20s, yeah, and we should all be working on our character. Yeah, and we need to repent if we've messed up. Say so. All right, you're not fooling anyone, ladies. Okay, so she starts giving a little bit of a timeline, and
baby, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter if you're a woman. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean that your man dick gonna get automatically hard. Understand what I'm saying? It's all about stimulating his mind. Or have y'all not learned that yet? It is. All right. Because see, you can have a woman come in, has his lingerie on. You can have another woman over here like, I'm ready to fuck you, Poppy. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna rise off of that little statement she made. I want to fuck you, Poppy. Versus the girl with the lingerie on. Now, I'm not saying men don't get turned on by lingerie, but what I am saying is words can stimulate a man's mind. Trust me, I know. I do it all the time with my husband. I do. And let me add this. There's nothing wrong with having phones. It's not. And I'm not talking about this type of phone sex. I'm talking about that FaceTime phone sex. You see what I'm saying? Like, baby, you can have an orgasm. And he can buzz. Without you all being in the same room. If you're really that good. If you really can control your mind. But you know, what do I know? I just do everything that I'm talking about. That's how I know. You see what I'm saying? Catch the up. You heard it here first. Yeah.
Fellas, when you're on grind mode, it's just best you stay single. Or if you want to be in a relationship, make sure you choose a woman that understands, not right now. You have to be with a woman that understands that you're on grind mode. You're not trying to spend no money. You're trying to prioritize. That's the type of woman that you need in your corner. Not the woman that wants you to get her hair done, her nails done every week. When Christmas time comes or her birthday comes, whatever, she's going to be a brat. She's going to complain because you can't get her 10 Chanel bags or whatever the case may be. Be with a woman that understands not right now. And that's the woman, when it's your time, that's the woman you have by your side. And then you finally spurge her on. You finally spoil her because she understood the assignment. It makes no sense. I really do feel people that are on grind mode do not need to be in relationships. It gets real complicated when you're focused and you can't give your all in the relationship because the other person don't understand. Y'all not on one accord. Get you a not right now woman.
One of the reasons why I take some things women say with a pinch of salt is this. In 2002 in Nigeria, a single lady was asked, if you get married, would you allow your husband to buy a car for his mother first before buying for you, his wife? The lady replied, no. They asked her why, and she said, if I get married, my husband would have to first of all buy me a car before buying for his mother because I am his wife. Now, fast forward 23 years later in 2025, because this lady now has 4 children. She was now asked, would you allow your sons to buy cars for their wives before buying for you, their mother? She replied, no. They asked her why. She said, now that I am suffering for these children, where are the wives? So, if my children eventually are in a position to buy cars for anybody, they would have to buy for me, their mother, first before buying for their wives. Forgetting that in 2002, when she said her husband would have to first of all buy her, the wife, a car before buying for his mother, that same man she was referring to also had a mother that suffered for him. Irony.
Welcome to 2026, where most modern day women, they all look the same, talk the same, act the same, want control, and be these independent boss babes, calling it their glow up era. And meanwhile, the real glow up is actually having accountability, not the Botox and fillers. And if you're a woman out here demanding a provider, meanwhile you cannot be coachable in any shape or form, honey, you're not independent. You're entitled. And this is where polarity comes into play for you women, because you can't demand a traditional man with modern day entitlement. And to be honest, this whole term independence actually got weaponized because the whole I don't need a man turned into I don't need accountability. So with this whole entitlement mentality, ladies, I'm going to challenge you. Start asking, who am I becoming versus what does he owe me? So if your standards are this high and your accountability is down on the toilet, honey, you don't need a better man. You need a better mirror.
When a man stops fighting for you, understand something. He didn't stop caring. You taught him his effort doesn't matter. Every gesture dismissed. Every attempt to lead met with resistance or criticism. That isn't him giving up on you. That's him finally accepting the pattern. Mm-hmm. Men don't bond through talking about feelings. They bond through action, through providing, through showing up and having that presence felt. When a man offers his time, his resources, his protection, and you treat it like it's expected instead of valued, something inside him shifts. Not dramatically, quietly. He doesn't announce he's pulling back. He just stops extending himself into spaces where he's not honored. That is self-preservation. That is maturity. And here's what women miss. A good man doesn't need you to perform or be perfect. He needs you to receive what he gives with grace. He needs his effort to be met with appreciation, not demands for more. When you weaponize his consistency, when you take his stability for granted, you create the very distance you'll later cry about. Men don't go cold because they're heartless. They go cold because warm doesn't work when it's not reciprocated. If he's still showing up, still trying, honor that before he stops trying altogether. Energy matches energy every single time.
The term toxic masculinity has a lot of problems with it. But one of the problems with it is if you do like a 2x2 and you've got toxic, non-toxic, masculine and feminine, and then fill in those boxes, people will say, well, not all masculinity is toxic. There's non-toxic masculinity. Well, first of all, being not toxic is not a hugely aspirational goal for many of us. Like, I didn't raise my sons and say, just think, boys, one day you might not be poisonous. Imagine a world where you're not toxic, right? So first of all, horrible framing, non-toxic. But then you say, okay, so what does non-toxic masculinity look like? And people will very often say things like, well, you know, that's where you're more emotionally vulnerable, you're much more caring, you're nurturing. And then you say, and how is that different to stereotypical femininity, maybe positive femininity? And then they'll say, well, it isn't really. So, okay. So the danger is that non-toxic masculinity is actually just an empty set in that 2x2. And then what you're doing is you're presenting boys and young men with a choice between being toxic and being female. And that's not a choice that many of us want to make. And it has created, I think, this cultural position we're in right now. The really difficult challenge here, and I'm finding it even difficult to talk about now, is how to articulate positive aspects of masculinity without in some way coming across as seeing it as better than or as elevating it. But let's be specific. It is true that men take more risks than women, on average. Distributions overlap. But men have a higher risk appetite, or a less risk averse, if you want to put it that way. Is that a good or a bad thing about men? And the answer is yes. It is a good and a bad thing about men. It is good when it leads men to take risks to save the lives of others. And that is almost always something that it'll be men doing. It is good if it means that men are willing to take, say, some risks around business, which leads to success, etc. It is good if they're willing to sacrifice themselves from others. It is bad if it means that they blow all their money gambling, or they take crazy risks and end up drowning or dying or ending up taking drugs in a certain way. And so is it better to have a more stereotypically female approach to risk or male? And the answer is neither. We need both.
And really what you're doing is demonizing what a man brings to a relationship. You're demonizing what a man brings to the table, because you're off rip saying, if you don't think like me, then you're toxic. If you don't have the thoughts that I do, the patterns of behavior that I do, then you're toxic. Modern women, especially ones that think that they're in their divine feminine, continue to believe that they're the only ones that are doing things right. Their way of thinking is the only way to think. Nobody else can do anything good. Nobody else can do anything that makes any sense. It's all stupid. It's all silly. As a man, you're going to, it's in you. It's in you from birth. That's the way you are. You're just a bad person. You're just a toxic person. And I, as the woman, have to fix you. I, as the woman, have to teach you new ways. Well, statistically speaking, how has that worked out? How's that worked out? I don't doubt that there are, as a matter of fact, I don't doubt at all. I know for sure there are a lot of women out there that have taught their son in the right way. Do this, do that, be respectful. Taught them in the right way. But these modern women, you can't trust them. They'll say anything and everything to make you believe that you're the problem, and it be them.
Cookie, chocolate, cookie, yum, yum, yum. Chocolate, cookie, yum, yum, yum. My Oreo, my chocolate Oreo. I love the creamy filling in my chocolate Oreo with milk. A little faster. Chocolate cookie, chocolate cookie, chocolate cookie, yum, yum, yum. Chocolate cookie, chocolate cookie, chocolate cookie, yum, yum, yum. My Oreo, my chocolate Oreo. I love the creamy filling in my chocolate Oreo with milk. Speed up again. Chocolate cookie, chocolate cookie, chocolate cookie, yum, yum, yum. Chocolate cookie, chocolate cookie, chocolate cookie, yum, yum, yum. My Oreo, my chocolate Oreo. I love the creamy filling in my chocolate Oreo with milk.
Baby, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Some relationships wouldn't be so boring if some women weren't just so damn lazy. You see what I'm saying? It's like some women take the fun out of the relationship. They just stop doing certain things, baby. They're not freaky no more. They're not doing exciting things no more. You know, it's like they just get boring as hell. And half the women don't even be old. You see what I'm saying? Some women still be young and be boring and dry, like not exciting. And it's like, damn, what happened to you? What happened? Just because you get with somebody, that doesn't mean get comfortable and start being whack as hell. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna give you an example. When my husband and I are on FaceTime, baby, we be doing stuff like giving each other kisses, baby, showing our tongues. I'm not gonna show y'all, but just understand what I'm saying when I say showing our tongues. You know what I'm saying? I might do a little dance for him. I might make him a video and send it to him. You see what I'm saying? Like, baby, we talk about what we gonna do when he get home. Baby, we pretend that we doing stuff sometimes on the phone. You know what I'm saying? It's like, when he home, baby, we be dancing and, you know, we ourselves. Remember, baby, don't lose the friendship part. When you lose that friendship part, baby, you lose everything. Now you dry and boring as hell. You heard it here first. Yeah.
Of a narcissistic single mother. She doesn't allow the ex-husband to access the children, or she makes it incredibly difficult. She'll either get courts involved, she'll move the children far away, she will not allow children to go to the grandparents' house. She makes life difficult for that father that's trying to see the child. Some of these single moms are a bit delusional, and they'll say, oh, but he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to. When you dig deeper, you realize that he does want to. She just made it so difficult in the beginning stages that he eventually gives up. Now, if she blocks access to the father of her children, if you're a child of a mother like this, it shows she puts her ego above your emotional needs. Knowing full well that children need two parents, she doesn't care about that. If you're dating a woman like this, she might be great to you now. She might be loving and kind and just say, oh, he was awful, I'm just protecting my children from abuse. But she's giving you an insight into what would happen if you two have children and you annoy her. Most mothers who block access to a child's father, they go on to do it again.
Oh, yes, a little known secret about women and their exit strategy. And this is, I'm laughing, but it's not a good thing. Women who want to leave a relationship, and by the way, it's women who file for the divorce way more often than the men do. Just FYI. In fact, with college-educated women, I believe the statistic is about 93% of the time they file for divorce rather than their husbands. So the structure in a girl's brain when she goes into an exit strategy is that she will be long down that road before the guy has any idea, typically. And that's why it's hardly ever women that come home to a house that's been emptied out and a note on the counter that says, I'm leaving you. That's something men go through.
Okay, but what did you do to my boy? Why isn't he sweet no more? Why is he sour? What did you do?
I would also say that, unfortunately, women are bad at it.
At chasing?
They are. Like, there's been a few times where women have approached me at a bar, and their lines and their approaches were just terrible.
Oh, what were they? Do you remember
They were just so, well, actually, they were kind of stiff, because you could tell that she was nervous. And I have sympathy for that, because it's like, I know what it's like to be nervous to approach a woman. But they generally lead with negs. They lead with, like, playful insults. But because they're kind of feeling nervous, the tone is off, and so it feels a little bit more insulting than it probably should. But I think that's a failure of interest understanding, is that I think negs work on women more than they work on men. And women think, oh, this is how men have picked me up in the past, So I'm just going to do to men what has worked on me. And that doesn't work. Men and women are generally want and need different things.
My man is such a freaking narcissist, and I am so done dealing with it. Sound familiar? Is he a narcissist, or do you just not like his boundaries that he set in place and he's non-negotiable with his boundaries? Setting boundaries and being a narcissistic man are two totally different things. And the feminism and the modern woman today that throws around that N-word like it is candy is absolutely disgusting. One, you cannot be a narcissist unless you are medically diagnosed. Okay? Yes, you think you may know, but you don't. Two, if he has boundaries like, I don't want you, we need to go out together at night. Like, it's a group thing, not a you thing with your girls. That is a boundary that man has. It is not controlling. It is a respect thing. And a man setting boundaries for himself in the relationship and you taking it as narcissism and is absolutely insane to me. Absolutely insane. And I see it every day across the internet. So do better, ladies. You suck at being a partner, and then you just go and break up with your narcissist boyfriend, and you either find your next victim or you jump from man to man saying men ain't and there's no good ones out there. Well, pick one better, sweetheart, because obviously there's a common denominator, right?
You really did say it. Modern women, they like their boundaries until it comes to them. They like a man putting his foot down and really showing them, especially men. If it's another man, really get in there and show him. Even if it comes to blows, show him. Get out there and defend my honor. Even if I said something that put you in danger, do that. I want you to go out there. I want to go out there and talk crazy to that man. And then I want you to come in. Yeah, you never talk crazy to my wife. I don't care what she do. And you go out there and whoop him. And then we go and get some ice cream. Yeah, my man protected me. You don't want that man to say, hey, bro, please don't. Listen, man, we done all had too much to drink. Let's just go home, brother. Come on. All right, but what she did it. Yeah, I know, man. Listen, my apologies. I'm going to deal with her. I'm going to take care of her. But, man, please just let's cut it right here, man. Don't nobody need to get in trouble. We don't want to wake up. You don't want to wake up in jail. I don't want to wake up in jail. We want to wake up in our beds, man. You got stuff to do tomorrow, bro. You want to go to you want to watch the game tomorrow, bro. You don't need to be in jail. Yeah, you can't do that from a jail cell. Yeah, you right. All right, man. All right. And y'all shake hands. All right. And then you get, hey, babe, listen, you got to chill. Oh, well, he did that, isn't that? Yeah, I know he did that, but you got to chill too. I saw you going back and forth. I heard what you said. Now I went over there and I talked to him, but you got to take it easy. Oh, well, I just want a man that ain't scared. I just want a man that go out there and handle business. I did. You see, we both still alive, right? You see, I'm not hurt. You not hurt. He not hurt. His girl not hurt. We all get to go back home to our families. I took care of business. What you're not saying is I didn't take care of business in the way that you wanted me to take care of business. I didn't go out there swinging and outside of my emotions, just emotionally unstable. I didn't do that, and I'm not going to do that. Not unless the situation calls for it. You can expect me to never do that. You can go, before we leave this parking lot, let's go ahead and get that right. I'm never going to do that. If I can calm a situation down, that's what I'm going to do. If I need to, then we can escalate it to that. But I ain't trying to do that. I'm trying to go to the house, man. I'm trying to stop and get something to eat on the way home. Eat. Head to bed. That's it. That's what I'm trying to do. But you and your bad attitude, you trying to ruin that.